How does everybody like this song? We should talk about that at some point. Like, the song is wild.
It is wild.
The song has a life of its own. Every time I'm listening to this thing, and we have to listen to it for like 10 minutes before the show starts.
Yeah.
The song is really something. So send in your comments. How do you do that? We don't know how to do that.
It's got a good beat. It's lively.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
You can send us a letter.
You can send us a letter if you don't like it. I don't know how we get letters even. I don't even know how you get a hold of us.
Fine. Smoke signals. We'll look to the south and east.
There's a lot going on today. It's the start of the Masters, which is probably the greatest sporting event of the year. Probably.
These are happy days.
So, that's a big deal. But also, speaking of sports and the great state of Utah here, according to Fox 13, who took a story from the Daily Face-Off, Salt Lake City could be the home of a National Hockey League franchise as early as next week.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Frank Saravelli reported Wednesday that significant progress has been made between the NHL, Coyotes, and Ryan Smith. We know that guy.
A little bit.
On the framework of an agreement to bring the franchise to northern Utah. The Coyotes would reportedly be renamed and rebranded if a move took place. You are seeing exactly what I'm seeing right now up on your screen. In an earlier report, Saravelli said announcement on the sale and relocation of the Coyotes could come as early as April 18th, which is one day after the team's final regular season home game. Not done. Many layers and lawyers, much work to do, Saravelli posted on social media. So it looks like we are about to get a NHL team, the Coyotes from Arizona, and we get to choose the brand, the name, all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks to our good friend, Ryan Smith.
Well done.
Keep going, Ryan. Let's get more.
Keep it going.
I'm super excited about that. I mean, I'm a hockey fan. I grew up in Detroit, and to finally have an NHL team here is just fantastic. Last month, I went down to Vegas to watch the Red Wings play the Knights. So we went into, flew into town and we'll just watch the game. I'm like, wouldn't it be great if I could just go to these games like regularly? And I'm going to be a season ticket holder for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
So, not done yet, but,
Come on, lawyers. Don't screw it up.
not done, but maybe done.
I think the whole like rebranding piece of it is because I read yesterday that the owner of the Coyotes today is wanting to retain that because he wants to get an expansion team again in the future. So when the NHL does expansion again, he wants a team in Phoenix. The NHL wants a team in Phoenix, and it just hasn't. It's been struggling. It's been difficult for them to get traction there. They get 5,000 seats, like 3,500 people show up to the game, and so I'm excited.
Hard to keep the ice cold.
Yep.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, when I take friends to games, I'm like, hey, you got to come with me to the Knights game or whatever. They're like, I've never been to a hockey game. They're like, this is amazing. That's fast. It's exciting. It's family environment. I mean, I think that Utah's going to love having a hockey team.
Well, Knights games are unlike any other NHL.
It's true.
Knights games, you're like at a nightclub. Like Knights games are crazy.
Yeah. People are dressed up.
Yeah. Vegas has become the ultimate sports town.
It has.
It's so cool. So when they get an NBA team, when they get the A's down there, but already with the Raiders and the Knights, it's pretty wild there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
new stadium looks awesome there that they're planning for Vegas on where the Tropicana is, I think.
Oh yeah, for the A's.
Yeah.
So how cool is that? We're about to get an NHL team. I love that we're not keeping the name Coyotes personally. I like the whole idea of, once it moves, let's create its own name, its own brand, its own everything.
Yeah.
Real quick, today's show is brought to you by the University of Utah's David Eccles School of Business, the Master of Business Creation program. It's available online or in person and mixes practical support with a professional degree program. I wish Garrett had taken this. Our business would be much better. Learn more and apply to the Master of Business Creation at eccles.utah.edu/MBC.
The Masters of Business Creation program is an accelerator packaged as a master's degree.
Having the ability to do this program online is amazing.
Whether they're just starting a business or a little bit further along, there are so many people out there that could benefit.
Yeah.
A little quick on the trigger there, Weston. I wasn't completely done.
Yep. I was just up on the University of Utah's campus in the buildings where this happens for the Silicon Slopes Marketing Summit, which was a awesome, raging success thanks to Pete Larkin and the Silicon Slopes team. And man, that campus is transformed, and those buildings are amazing. Those kids have no idea how lucky they are.
It's beautiful up there, probably this time of year, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Particularly yesterday.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
that's cool.
We haven't introduced our guest for today, but you have been weighing in on hockey.
Are you guys hearing birds in your... What is that?
That's our ode to the Masters.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
There you go. We're bringing Augusta.
You
to
did
the
that?
Silicon
You're
Slopes
responsible
show.
for that?
Yeah, that was my idea.
You have any of those pimento sandwiches anywhere? Or
I wish. We're not that cool. Carson Poppenger, founder and president of Squeeze. How are you today?
Hey, great. Thanks for having me here. Excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here. Hockey Town USA is Detroit, right?
Yeah.
Joe
Hockey
Louis
Town.
Arena.
Joe Louis Arena is no longer, but it's a Little Caesars Arena now.
Little
It's
Caesars.
the Pizza Arena.
But if you wanted to
That's quite the
play
change.
tough, rough hockey and you came to Detroit, you're going to get your money's worth, right? Over the decades.
Oh, yeah.
Some
Going back
bruising
to
teams.
Gordie Howe and all those, the legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the early 2000s or late 90s, Bob Probert and that whole, I grew up with all that, so.
Bob Probert, you
Yeah.
better eat a big breakfast if you're going to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my
Those are good
personal
days.
like idols in business and leadership is Steve Yzerman. He's the general manager of the Red Wings now, and just quiet leadership, strategic, competitive above everything else. Like he just wants to win.
Yeah.
And he's a smart guy. I
Yeah.
like that guy's leadership style, and he's putting together a team now. So
Yeah.
but I'm excited to have Utah hockey. But when Red Wings come here, I'll be wearing my jersey. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, that is kind of the crazy thing about us getting all these teams now is we all were adults.
yeah,
So we all already have teams.
Penguins and
Yeah.
yeah,
So that part's kind of crazy.
Sharks.
Personally, I don't have an NHL team, so it's great. But like if an MLB team comes, like that's weird. I think that's going to be weird for a lot of people.
Yeah. It'll be schizophrenic for half a generation.
But what you got to do is just abandon all your loyalties.
You've
you're-
never lived
you're-
in Los Angeles.
Your main loyalty is to the state of Utah. I've always said that. I tell my kids that. Mom, before family, before anything,
Pledging
Utah.
allegiance.
Utah comes first, which is way cool. Carson, tell us about Squeeze.
Yeah, so Squeeze, we've been in business for 15 years, and we are a service business where we sit between marketing and sales for many companies in consumer space that they're offering programs like we work with mortgage companies and insurance companies and debt relief companies and tax relief companies and healthcare, and they're acquiring customers or customer acquisition models, or they have a consumer direct team with large inbound teams that are taking applications and trying to enroll competing in the market that's very competitive and very volume driven, right? And so our function is to sit between marketing and sales to help contact, speed to lead, getting a consumer on the phone, starting that conversation, representing the brands that we work with to get them into the funnel, pull them further down the funnel, helping them with their mortgage application and things like that. We'll get them on the phone, start the conversation, and then pass them off to a loan officer. And we do, we basically, estimate, because we don't have visibility into every client that we work with, but based on average transactions and based on the volume of sales opportunities we've created and based off of conversion rates that we know hold true and back out, we've almost influenced $1 billion in sales. We're coming up on that pretty quickly. And it's
This
exciting.
is incredible.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a great team. I mean, our team's phenomenal. Our relationships with our clients, we're working with the biggest names in mortgage. And if we went to this building, like there's, if you have a mortgage, we may be working with your mortgage company, your mortgage servicer, representing them on phone calls and things like that and marketing. So
Yeah. 15 years ago would mean it was a kind of another real estate / mortgage / economic issue at the time, right?
Yes. Yeah, the market there had turned. There was a lot of, there was, it was kind of driven by the job market, and then it resulted in foreclosures and short sales and loan modification market and everything like that. And that was a tough time. It's interesting now. We've been in this cycle for coming up on 2.5 years almost. That we've been in this sort of rate market where rates were, really low for an extreme amount of time, and then they kind of they crept up pretty quickly, and everyone's sort of like wondering when are the rates going to go down? Everyone's sort of expected it's going to start happening this year. So far, it's kind of still holding a high rate market, and but our clients are doing well, and they're finding ways to win and adapting, and we're happy to be a part of that.
So if you reach out to a mortgage company and say, here's our services, here's our results, here's our model. If they want to put fuel on the fire, is that when they go with you, or if they're lagging, do they go with you then? Or is it just a combination of both?
Yeah, every prospective client we talk to has a service. They're already doing something either internally, or they're maybe working with another group or something like that. And our presentation is, you're going to, working with us, you're going to be able to increase your sales conversions. You're going to generate more revenue. You're going to lower your cost per acquisition. That's a metric that, all of our clients are looking at, is like, how can I lower my CPA, my cost per acquisition, and be in line? And, thankfully, in head-to-head situations, every time we do a head-to-head situation, we'll outperform like an internal center that they're working. They have like maybe a team in Orange County, or they have a team in Texas or something like that. We'll outperform them 4-1. We're producing 4 times greater the conversion and pull through rate into their sales pipeline than their internal team. They're like, yeah, we should, like, why are we doing this ourselves? We're not a call center. We're not a contact center.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't our business. Our core business is mortgage. It's insurance. It's, we're experts at that. Do we want to also have to be experts at this function? We're like, no, let's just let us handle it. And so that's what we do. And it's great. I love that when we can sort of just go head to head and just show our worth. So
that's sweet. That's super cool. Hey, let's get back to some news real quick. O.J. Simpson died.
Orenthal James
died of cancer, as it turns out. The obituary is on the Wall Street Journal. It says Simpson's accomplishments as one of the greatest running backs in college and professional football history, along with a career as an actor and celebrity pitchman, were overshadowed by his 1994 arrest following a nationally televised police chase for allegedly killing his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend Ronald Goldman.
He was a charismatic actor, and his like color commentary on football was really good. And then just to watch him play
Probably
football,
the greatest college running back in history.
yeah,
he was
phenomenal.
Amazing to watch.
Yeah.
And those were wild times, right? Like most people, even if they're like 5 years old or 25 years old, they remember that white Bronco before the days of the internet, and
Yeah.
people were calling and saying, "You got to turn the TV on."
He was the first viral video of J. Simpson.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were watching it real time. I was kind of thinking about that this morning when I was in high school. I was a senior, and I worked at a restaurant and a hotel, and everything stopped. Everybody was like in the hotel bar area with the TV, watching this unfold and everything, and kind of an interesting time to see all that.
Yeah. And nobody really knew what was happening.
Right. Like what happened?
There's
Yeah,
somebody in the back with a cell phone?
Uh-huh.
Cato Kalin?
Well, yeah, so that's happened.
It was wild times. I am interested a little bit more in, we were talking a little bit beforehand. You were at a conference in Vegas,
Mhm.
LeadCon, is that what it was called?
LeadsCon, yeah.
LeadsCon. How do those work now versus, I don't know, 5 years ago or pre-COVID? Because it seemed like that it was a fun time and you had success. But can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah. Those conferences have been going strong. Our first, when we first began our business, funny story about LeadsCon was I knew that we wanted to go to that, and we didn't have any clients or any employees, any revenue. We were like pre-revenue. We're like, hey, we've got this idea. We're working on this. We're starting to pitch some people and things like that. And the tickets to the conference were $700. And there were 3 of us that wanted to go. I'm like, it's $2,100 just to get to this conference. We have no money, we have no revenue. And I looked on their website and like I could get a booth with like some marketing stuff for like $2,000. I'm like, done. You know, we plus 3 tickets with it. I'm like, let's do that. So we had a booth at this conference. No business, no revenue. We were there pitching our company and our offering. We had collateral materials we brought, all kinds of stuff. We did some promotions during the conference, and we walked away with a client. We got a client from that. It was a consumer lender that said, hey, I'm going to work with you guys, and gave us a check right there on the spot, and it's sort of like a deposit. And that was like our first, business that we had. But through the years, the conference has been great. They put on a great show. It's really, all the marketers in the business that are generating leads and traffic, digital marketing. They have the buyers are there, VPs of marketing with the mortgage companies and the insurance companies are there to check things out. There's technology providers, there's compliance. There's a lot of compliance going on in the industry right now with privacy and et cetera. And so there's just a lot of good discussion around that, good things happening there. And, we had a lot of great meetings there. So excited about it. We actually probably have our best and our most effective, most highest yield that we're going to see from the show this week. So
very cool.
Yeah.
People are still wanting to get together and have face-to-face.
Oh, I think one person was giving out hugs. A friend of mine, Joey Liner. I don't know if he's listening. I posted this on LinkedIn, but he's a well-known guy in the industry. Joey's like, I'm going to give out hugs. I've got a counter. He's counting how many hugs he gave out. He was, when I met with him yesterday, he had 160. I was his 169th hug.
Nice.
That he gave out. And somebody guessed 186. I'm like, you're almost there, man. I'm like, so, yeah.
With all things, software and service related, we have to bring up AI, and, it could replace everything apparently, or nothing, or something in between. How are you looking at it?
I think it's going to be a huge, value add and efficiency and insight, analytics, all that. At the conference, someone was walking in front of me. I took a picture. They had a T-shirt on it. Said, ask me about my AI solution. Call this phone number. And then it had like the phone number across the back. It was a T-shirt. I'm like, so you're marketing AI on a T-shirt to call a phone number where a salesperson probably answers and sells you on the AI solution. That's kind of where we're at right now with this space.
It'll be a while before this all like flushes out.
Right.
See who's right or wrong.
Yeah, but we're looking at how we can do it. It's like, is your data clean? How do we organize our data so that we can, start the machine learning models and all that. I mean, I think there are definitely people that are further ahead of in that space than I am at this point with our company, but we are working on it's on our roadmap, and we're aligning things so that we can harness it more,
Yeah, just make things really, for a company like yours, it would make it more efficient.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of the big thing there.
Yeah, absolutely.
What it probably can't do is like build a team, and you've built a pretty big team, like several hundred employees, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have 400.
How did you go about that?
It's just been like little by little, like bootstrapping the business from the beginning, no funding. Early on, one of my friends said, you're going to talk to a lot of people that want to entertain giving you money, show them your business plan, all that. He's like, the best thing you can do is just go sell, make it happen, just lead with sales. And that's kind of what we did for a long time. And, we've just been continually hiring here in the local area. We expanded it in late 2017. We opened an office in Sandy because we wanted to increase our footprint and our recruiting, and that was some learning experience, I'll say. You're either winning or learning. That was a learning experience. But since then, we've opened an office in Logan, Utah. So we have an office in Orem, which is between UVU and BYU. Mm-hmm. Get a lot of great college talent there. In Logan, we have Utah State. We have 50, 60 people working there. And then in Rexburg, Idaho, by the BYU Idaho campus, we're like right downtown, near walking distance to the student housing and all that. And we've got 120 or so people there. And it's been great. I think we opened our Rexburg office last June. We went in there and it really took off in the fall. And it's been great to see that growth.
Yeah. You mentioned, just go sell, don't raise. How have you structured the company, and what are your thoughts on bootstrapping, the way you did it versus other alternatives?
Well, honestly, I'll say for myself, I was never in a C-level role before starting this company. I was sort of a director of marketing, and so I didn't have access to a lot of. I studied business management in school. It's my degree, and so I had a educational kind of understanding of business management, but never any like real practical experience there. If I had to do it over again, I could do it much, much quicker, and I would do some things differently. But it was what I could do at the time, really, just starting with nothing and a credit card. And, it's like, hey, if I can do this today and bill tomorrow and get paid by next Friday, like, we'll be in good shape. That's kind of the way it worked for a long time.
Oh, wow.
And, but we're good now. And we kind of got capitalized in 2019, brought in a partner there and we had a good run together and we're on a good footing now, and we're excited about the future. We're well capitalized and have great relationships, and so excited to see where things go from here.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And if I remember right, we had you on the podcast a couple of years ago, but you and your wife worked closely on the business as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Recommend?
Yeah. I mean, I think the tough thing for us is we're always like, okay, let's not talk about work. That's the toughest part of it. Because, we have, it's a big thing we have in common, obviously, and a lot of knowing how what's happening and issues and things. She's been great. She's a lot of ways my eyes and ears on things. And, Amy's background is in technology, and she was with New Skin for 7 years, just across the street here. She was on their development team. Was a really valued resource there in person. And when our kids got to a certain age, we're like, hey, it'd be great for her. She worked part-time remote for a while, and then we're like, hey, we've got 3 girls, and you just need to focus. We just need to focus on them. And that was really her. I was fully supported it and agree, but that was her driving, like, hey, I need to be there for the kids, and so she did that for a number of years until the kids were all in school, and then that was 2015, 16, and I've got some more time now. I'm not really, tied up all the time with kids stuff, and I can help out. So she jumped in, learned all our technology solutions, integrations, reporting, APIs with our clients, data in, data out, all that. And she's really helped us get to a point where, we're just operational and generating success and everything like that. And so today she has a much more relaxed role where she's not in every day. She comes in when she wants to. Basically, she has an office next to mine, and she's there when she wants to be. But she's always thinking about it and working on things. So
that's great.
Yeah,
I like that. Just come in when you want.
Yeah, that's what she's like. Just for the record, I don't have a boss here.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, you don't.
That's awesome.
There you go. In that you guys work with a lot of companies across America in various industries, do you ever have insights as to the overall economics, if things are going poorly, if the headlines are wrong based on what you guys are seeing, and how do you react to that?
Yeah, we talk with our partners a lot. We try to get a pulse on what's happening in the industry. Part of our business success has been we work in so many different verticals that as we start to see things changing, we start to really focus our efforts on building clientele in other verticals. 3 years ago, probably 60% of our business was mortgage. And today it's 25%. But during that period, we've grown, 20, 30%, or actually in the last 5 years, we've grown like 600%.
Wow.
But so we've been able to successfully, wind down mortgage while growing insurance and healthcare, and debt relief is a big one right now. There's like over $1 trillion in credit card debt. It's weighing on a lot of Americans. Companies that we work with have good solutions to help bring relief, help you sort of put that behind you. And we're sort of a part of that, just helping them, talk to consumers and start that conversation. And it was just listening to the market, seeing where things are going. And everyone's kind of like, early last year, it was like, 1st to 24 rates are going to go down. That's what everybody was talking about. Now they're saying, just as of a few months ago, like the light is at the end of the tunnel. It's been 2.5 years, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and we're through the worst. It's kind of their thought process and what I've been hearing. And so,
there's a story on the Wall Street Journal that says Fed rate cuts are now a matter of if, not just when. And it seems like we're about to go there. It says another firmer than anticipated inflation report delivered a meaningful setback Wednesday to the Federal Reserve's hope that it could buoy prospects of a so-called soft landing by dialing back some of the past year's interest rate increases. Solid hiring and the prospect that inflation might settle out closer to 3% than the Fed's 2% goal could call into question whether the central bank will be able to cut rates until much later in the year without evidence of a sharper slowdown in the economy. If you're Joe Biden, you're like, please do something before the election.
Yeah, these are wild times. It's good, bad, depending on the day.
Right.
A lot of indexes and a lot of data out there.
They pumped the economy full of cash. There's so much cash out there that was pumped into the economy, and so that's really what's driving, this, how quickly can we, because if they lower them too quickly, and, that's just going to, probably generate more problems sooner, kind of a thing. And so it's got to be calculated. That's what they're looking at. But I know everybody is really anxious to get some rate cuts, because the one person told me a couple weeks ago, we had breakfast, and he's in the know in the space, and he said that if the rates went down like 0.5 to 0.75 of a point, it would feel like a windfall. Like, because right now, groups that were doing like 2,500 loans a month. I mean, that's the kind of groups that we work with in the space. There's like a lot of people in mortgage, but our clients, they'll do like 2,500 loans a month, and they're doing like 100. They're still like, if it tripled, they'd be doing 300. They would feel really busy. Yeah. But it's still just a fraction of what they were doing before. So they're all really anxious to get rates in a better place.
Yeah. And they can't do anything about it really, other than gripe, I think.
Yeah.
There's a couple 100 and so odd golfers playing Augusta today that don't have to worry about anything we just talked about.
Yeah.
Do you have any picks or predictions?
I like Tony Finau. He's a Utah guy.
Yes.
Guy, and love his story, his family. Follow him on Instagram. Love seeing Tony win. So
Finau that'd be big. That'd be so cool.
Clint, who do you got?
Tiger.
El Tigre?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at in terms of odds, but he's looking good.
Yeah. I went heavy with midfield like Ricky Fowler, Jordan Spieth. I do have a little bit of a gambling problem, but there's some exactas with Tony Finau and Brooks Koepka, so it'll be fun. It's a good fun.
Kind of anybody but Koepka, really.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
want
I'm just kidding.
He lost a lot of fans with Full Swing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't like him. People don't like him.
He is kind of cutthroat and steely when it comes to the majors, but I'd love for anyone on Live not to win.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like any of the Live.
Is that still going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't figure it out.
Weird.
I know.
Live is funny to me because my take on that is like they couldn't have. I mean, from a marketing opportunity, you have these teams like the Busters and the Sharks or something like that is the name of these teams. I'm like, total missed opportunity for branding and like sponsorships, right? Like, why don't we have Team Nike and Team, you know, Srixon and Titleist and all the big golf sponsors and things like that. I mean, all of those are tied to the PGA, but there's other companies. I mean, what companies could throw their name on a team and get some advertising and things like that? We've got the Sharks and the Gushers or something. I don't know. The Crushers. I think the Crushers is one of them. I don't know. I don't follow it very closely.
That's so crazy.
And then, you know, the winners, they're like in shorts, and the award ceremony looks like a pro-am at Spanish Oaks. And then the PGA Tour is, you know, like beautiful trophies, and everyone's looks like golfers, right?
The history of the game and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. I mean,
I thought they'd figure this out. Now, aren't they merging?
Yeah, it's still in the works. A lot of big money. Yeah. When an entire nation's just throwing money behind it, though. But yeah, there's some private equity folks and sports folks that are punching back, but the story is developing.
Weird.
But it doesn't matter for these 4 days, right? They're just going to play golf and do their best. So
the best story of this weekend for us would be Tony wins. That would be incredible. But last time Tiger won it when he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
Which is pretty, what was that, 19?
19, yeah.
Yeah, like that was very emotional.
Yeah.
He has an incredible story. I mean, his comebacks, you know, all the health setbacks and injuries and things like that. To see him overcome those odds is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And we all want to see him pass Jack, or at least get close to it.
Yeah, he better get cracking. I'd love to see Rory win too. He's been bedeviled by Augusta a little bit, but it's always fun to watch a first timer win too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And changes their lives.
It really doesn't matter who wins. Masters are so cool, but Tiger going into the 18th with a 2-shot lead is pretty fun.
Oh yeah. So if you're a member at Augusta and you need some playing partners, I think we'll throw our hats in the ring.
I think the whole world would throw their hats.
We have guys on my team that clued me into, like, we need to get into the lottery to attend Augusta last year. So we submitted. We all like entered to get tickets to Augusta, and you know, I didn't get any of this. But apparently, like, I think your odds go up if you've never submitted before or something like that. I don't know. They have like some kind of lottery they do, but yeah, I think they're gonna. My guys are all like wanting to get, you know, their name in the hat to be able to attend that. So
yeah,
that's the dream of it to attend.
Yeah,
love it. It's feasible.
I want to go to Sawgrass next year. I was watching Sawgrass on TV. I'm TPC. I'm like, that looks great. Like 16th, 17th hole there, like with the water and the island green. Yeah. Like, that looks like a great time in Jacksonville in the cold weather of March.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready for spring and summer. I think we have a tee time later this afternoon to play. So.
Oh, good for you. Where are you playing?
Fox Hollow.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love
That's
it.
Great.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thank you for having me here.
Always a good time
fun.
with Carson.
We obviously don't have a show tomorrow. We don't do shows on Friday. We have a show on Monday. Who do we have?
Earl.
The
Pearl Foot.
Oh,
This
cool.
is going to be a good one.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right, everybody have a good weekend. We'll see you Monday.